right, welcome back to Intrepid Healthcare's live coverage from HIMSS16. We're here to talk about something very exciting, some changes in the HIMSS EMR adoption model with Lorna Green. Lorna is a healthcare informatics consultant at Hyland Software. Welcome to the show, Lorna.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here. It's an exciting experience.
And tell us why you're especially qualified to speak on this topic.
Um, my name is Lorna Green, as he said, and I'm a nurse that works with a software vendor, Hyland Software. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But I am also certified by HIMSS Analytics as an EMR adoption model educator. And that gives me the ability to work with customers and with prospects to help them reach the levels of HIMSS Analytics.
Perfect. And tell us just generally what Hyland Software does.
Sure. We are generally, the top term is an enterprise content management system. And in the old days, you would have known that as scanning in paper. You know, that's kind of where we started, the basis of getting rid of your paper. But as healthcare's grown, we have turned into more of a content management. We can bring in any type of content into OnBase and make it accessible to the clinicians, to your doctors, nurses, therapists from your EMR. And that would include photos, X-ray images, that type thing.
Well, I'm very excited because what happens at HIMSS, you have big announcements, and there's things that are changing with the EMR adoption model. Walk us through some of the changes and why they're important.
All right. The EMR adoption model was released for the first time in 2005. So it's now 11 years old, and they decided it was time to just do a little update on it. So in the first model, it really brought us through implementing the EMR, how to use the EMR, how to make patients safer, have more continuity of care using the EMR as your core system. With the new changes, they're broadening that. Many of the things that were in the 2005 standards are still there. Those aren't changing, but they're adding to it. They're going to make it, they want our clinicians to have access to all aspects of the patient record. They want to see data from every data store that's in the hospital, whether it's a picture, an X-ray, a document, or from a third-party system. They want the clinicians to be able to access that from one spot.
And from your opinion, how are we doing on adoption? Are we achieving adoption? Are many people getting up to that ultimate level 7?
I think we're doing well. When you look at the whole broad big picture, there's very few hospitals in the country now that aren't using an EMR. But when you look at that, you also look at the top end, stage 7, there's only about 4% of the hospitals that have reached stage 7. The good news is, in the older days, 10 years ago, the majority of the hospitals were, say, 0 to 3 stage. Now they've moved up to 4, 5, and 6 is where the bulk of the hospitals are. So we're moving there, we're getting there. Meaningful use prompted it. People got money to implement. But now HIMSS Analytics has taken it, I think, to the next level to talk about how to have good data, how to share that data, how to keep that data safe. And that's what they're bringing into the new EMR adoption model.
Great. I like to ask this question of all our guests here at HIMSS. What's on your personal must-do list while you're here in Las Vegas?
Well, I love to go out and see the smaller vendors. I like to go to the periphery of the hall and kind of see what's out there. There's some innovative people out there that maybe don't have money for a big booth, but they're here with some good ideas. So I like to do that. And on a personal note, I like to go find the Georgia Tech booth because they're here and my son's a Georgia Tech grad, and I always go say hi to them. But I really like connecting with the people that come by our booth. That's my biggest thing, is I want to have these EMR adoption model conversations. I want to let you know that people like me are trained to help them when they don't know who else to ask.
And you don't just have a booth, you have a sports bar, which makes it even cooler. Tell people where they can go if they want to learn more, either from you or from Hyland here at the show.
All right, we do have a sports bar. That's the theme of our booth, and I think our booth number is 1654. OnBase is the name of our booth. Come by there. I'd love to talk with you. If I'm not there, there's others that would be there that can talk with you. One of our big pushes this year is our vendor neutral archive, which will include bringing all of your clinical data into one view. So that's an exciting thing for us this year. But please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. My name's Lorna Green, green like the color, no E on the end. and my email is lorna.green@onbase.com.
Lorna, thanks so much for being on our show, for telling us about the changes to the model, and for getting people to come and visit you while you're here.
It's great. Thank you for having me.
All right, that wraps this broadcast live from HIMSS. We'll see you soon on Intrepid Healthcare.
Well, thank you. I didn't know whether to look at it or both. Okay.
Yeah, it works. It works because we'll have the conversation.
All right.
That worked right.
But if you edit, no, that's, just don't fully